Books are the root of education and knowledge. Now, I've read quite a few books in my life, mostly because my parents were strict and banned TV. I had to adapt to reading because my parents took me to the library almost every day. I got kicked out of the library multiple times, probably because I was causing a lot of noise. But when I actually was reading, most books I didn't really get. The library was 70% word books, and at that time I was still kind of dumb, so I didn't really understand all the complex words. And I didn't have time to read all those books anyways because most of the time I was in school. Come to think of it, they mentioned something about this in school as well, but I was probably doing something else and didn't notice. But in this video, we're talking about books I read, even if it's not many. Starting this list with The Giving Tree. This is about a selfish-ass kid that steals everything from the tree and practically strips it nude. At the end, the kid is too old to keep robbing the tree, so he just sits on it. I bet if he was any younger, he'd rip that stump of yours apart and sell it to the chipmunks. Anyways, that kid's going to hell. That tree deserved better. I hope it lived a long time until someone eventually came to rip its stump apart and sell it to the chipmunks. Next on our list is a book called Lunch Lady. If you haven't read this book before, you should. So it's about this school lunch lady superhero woman, also known as wannabe Black Widow. And these three bitch-ass kids, they're always stalking Lunch Lady for some reason. Plus, they're always somehow getting themselves in a near-death situation or in jail. And every time Lunch Lady has to rescue them. But enough about Lunch Lady. Time to move on to a book we've all read before. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Be honest. This book has been the most popular thing since soft-serve ice cream. It talks about a kid called Greg. Now, Greg is what most people would call an
asshole.
Being friends with this guy is bad enough. Imagine living with him. So pretend it was a long day of work and you hope to sleep in. First thing at 6 a.m., Greg's gonna crank up the radio and... Roderick is the only normal person. And Manny, you piece of shit! This kid literally tried to freeze his family to death. Though they kind of deserved it. Especially this bitch. Seriously, your son tried to starve you and you don't beat his ass and he still gets a Merry Christmas. If I were you, no matter how underage he is, first chance I get, I'm shipping him off to military camp. And I really hate the mom because she's such a hypocrite in general. She was the one that thought of the no electronics rule, but the only one that really did look at her phone was her. Basically, everyone in the Wimpy Kid series is messed up. And there's also a bunch of side characters that I don't really care about. Plus, some books in the series are trash. But the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series is pretty good overall. Although I still rather watch movies than read books. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Do me a favor and just watch a movie instead of reading a book. Now, I feel like every video has to end with a message, so in conclusion...
Yeah.